Hi, everyone out there in the world of YouTube or wherever it is you may be checking out a clip. And if it is only a clip, I suggest you find the full-length video and watch it in its entirety because you won't be disappointed. It's always great information, even if you're not interested in accounting or a CPA or want to be a CPA. We always share great information. And in this edition of JCLPAA In-depth series, I want to talk about a book that I came across in my journey early on that inspired me and fueled me. So I knew there was no giving up. I was going to obtain those coveted 3 letters behind my name, a CPA, if it was the last thing I did, because that book just so blessed me. But as you can see, it's a little chilly down here in Metro Atlanta, so got my scarf on, coming to you, want to give you this great information, hopefully inspire you, no matter what goals you may have, but specifically if you're thinking about being a CPA, watch this entire video, because I want to encourage you, uplift, and share what motivated me almost 10 years ago once I got started. Not quite sure how I got turned onto this book or where I came across its title, but it blessed me immensely. And the book is called A White Collar Profession. It is authored by Miss Theresa Hammond. I don't know Miss Hammond, but I thank Miss Hammond for documenting the experience of the first Black CPAs, because it talks about being an African-American CPA, and she starts in the early 1920s and brings it forward all the way to the early 2000s. So if that's early 2000, we still have 20 years. If this is 2020 when I'm recording this, we still have 20 years since this book. And to tell you the truth, if you read this book, you'll think we haven't made any progress, but aside from that, it will inspire you. And like I said, that's whether you want to be an accountant, anything else in life. The stories in here, to some degree, are heartbreaking, but at the same time, you can use that as motivation to achieve your goals. Go down the road or chart your own destiny, because it can be done. But I will say, the author, Ms. Hammond, dedicates this book to Richard Austin, or it's in the memory of Richard Austin, Charles Beckett, Lincoln Harrison, Theodore Jones, Theodora Rutherford, and Elmer Whiting. And the first paragraph captivated me right off the gate. I mean, off the bat, I couldn't believe this. It starts with Miss Theodora Rutherford, who graduated summa cum laude from Howard University in 1923. But in the opening paragraph, it talks about how this lady had to wait 37 years before she realized her goal of becoming a certified public accountant in 1960. So I was compelled to read this book to see what obstacles they were able to overcome and pull from their strength and their experience, maybe help me along the way. So if you are a Black CPA or aspiring CPA, you should definitely be familiar with this book. And if you're in academics, you should probably have this part of your required reading, because this book can and will inspire you to do any and everything in your life. There's no reason you shouldn't overcome and achieve whatever it is you have in your life that you want in life. And I will say, this book I ordered online, not sure how I came familiar with it, what article or person who suggested it, but it changed my life, because I was able to see and in some way put myself in their shoes, but at the same time know I was blessed and living in a different time where I didn't have the same overt obstacles in my way. But at the same time, I could relate, because I understood where they were coming from, and I've had my own share of racism, discrimination, and obstacles in my way. So along my journey, of course, being in an underrepresented field of accounting. So I completely get it, understand it, but there's nothing I can't do or won't do, because the people discussed in this book paved the way, along with my own ancestors and firsthand experiences with my mother and father living through Jim Crow and sharing their personal experience. So as Black people, we can do anything. We've overcome so much. So I want to inspire future CPAs. Keep going. And if you need some tangible, order this book. find it, get it, put it in your personal library and keep it, because it will make a difference. And I just could not go on without dedicating one recording in this series of the JCLPAA In-depth to that book, and Miss Hammond for documenting it, because it made a difference for me and to me probably 10 years ago when I started out on my journey, which was, as if you watched any previous videos from early 2007, and then wholeheartedly jumping into it almost 10 years ago at the top of January 2011. And that book, along with some others, motivated me, inspired me, and lit a fire up under me, because there's nothing you can't do. If I can become a CPA, I tell you, anybody can do this. If you have some discipline and a goal, go for it. That's all it takes, is discipline. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. And if you are an aspiring CPA, please reach out. I would love to interview you, to document your experience and give you some encouragement, and know there's light at the end of the tunnel. Or if you're already a CPA, oh, definitely reach out so we can spotlight your accomplishment, because that is a huge deal. And you don't necessarily have to be Black, but if you are open to discussing your experience and paralleling it with and comparing it to the Black experience, that would be great too, just so we can see the diversity in the profession. So thank you again, and remember who you are and whose you are, and there's no time like the present.